Hey guys, Jacob with Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors. Hope everybody's doing great this evening. Great to hop back online and speak with everybody this evening. Those of you who are not aware, we just released a season 3 bonus episode of Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors podcast, and it's available for streaming right now on Apple, Spotify, or pretty much any of your major podcast streaming platforms. Thank you to you guys who did comment on the bonus episode. Glad you enjoyed it. We are ready to get going for season 4 coming up this fall. But guys, today I wanted to share something with you that I'm excited about. It's something that I've came across as a waterfowl hunter. You know, many of us are firearm collectors. We have, different firearms that we either inherit through the years that are passed down to us from generation to generation, or we acquire ourselves. And me being a 42-year-old outdoorsman, guys, I have quite a collection of firearms now that I'm looking forward to passing on to my 2 boys, as they get older and get into the sport more and more. But something that I wanted to share with you guys, the listeners and the subscribers to our channel, is something that's just, man, I can't even believe I've come across it, to be honest with you. Guys, if you take a look, this is what I came across in a pawn shop that I had to snatch up, guys. And this particular firearm, some of you may have heard of it before. It is manufactured by a company called Ithaca Firearms. For those of you guys who have been around the sport for a long time, you will be familiar with the name Ithaca Firearms. But this particular one, guys, looking at it, this is a 20-gauge side-by-side. And this is a 1929, guys, 1929. Ithaca Lefevre Nitro Special 20 gauge side by side that I came across at a local pawn shop here in South Louisiana. And when I saw it and I held the gun in my hands, I took a look at it. I was familiar with the old Lefevre Nitro Specials. I knew that Ithaca had produced these many, many years back, but I wasn't sure of the exact age of it. So I kind of talked to the guy, the pawn shop owner, talked to him about it. And kind of picked his brain on it to see if he knew anything about it. And he said, I know it's an older model. He said, I'm not exactly sure how old it is, but it is an older model. And I know that, these little 20 gauge side by sides are pretty popular. I've had them in here come through, every so often, every couple of years, he said, and they tend to draw quite a conversation piece. And I've sold every one I've ever had before. So I asked the guy, I said, look, man, I said, what are you asking for the gun? He said, I have it priced right around $599, right around $600. He said, but I've had it for about a year now. And he said, I haven't had anybody that's real serious on it. He said, so I would be willing to work with you on it and make a deal on it. He said, I don't have that much, obviously, in the gun. He said, but I do want to make a profit. Now, lo and behold, guys, this guy that I'm talking to, that's this particular pawn shop owner, it is a guy that I know. I'm somewhat became friends with the guys. I bought several firearms from him over the years, so I'm a repeat customer of his. And, I said, hey, if you can work me out a good deal on it, I'm interested. I have cash. I want to go ahead and purchase it, guys. And we sat there and we shot a conversation for a few minutes and just talked about hunting in general. And by the end of the day, he said, go ahead. He said, go ahead and make me an offer on it. And I said, look, I'd be willing to offer you $300 for it. And he said, okay, so let me take a look at it. He said what I got in it. So he went to the back. He took a look at what he had in the gun. And he came back and he said, look, you're a good customer of mine. He said, I know you're a big waterfowl hunter. This is probably something that you would want. And I'd like to see it go to somebody who would have an interest in this particular gun, kind of knows the history of these guns, these firearms. And he said, I'll go ahead. He said, I'll counter back at $325. He said, if you want it for $325, it's yours. So when he told me that, guys, you can only imagine how excited I was. And I'm still shaking, to be honest with you, man. Not knowing the age exactly of the gun, I told him, I said, I want the firearm for $325. I paid the man. I went ahead and I took it home. I looked at the condition of it when I was in the shop, and it was in excellent condition. I could tell that maybe the buttstock had been redone at some point. I do not think that this is original. like you see here on the buttstock. Hopefully you guys can see it on camera. But it is an older buttstock. Has some really, really nice engravings on the side. I don't know if you guys could see that here on the camera, but it has some waterfowl engravings on the side. The top is branded Ithaca, and the model of the Ithaca Lefevre Nitro Specials, clearly on the top of the firearm. So I took it home. I started doing a little bit of research to see exactly how old this particular firearm was. And when I break it apart and you open up the barrel, it'll have the serial number engraved right in the middle underneath the barrel right here. So I took it, I looked at it, and I ran the serial number that is on this particular firearm on Ithaca's website, where you could go back and you could look at the serial number history, guys. And I was surprised and absolutely astonished to see that this particular serial number was from the 1929 series, guys. So we're looking at a 92-year-old firearm that is in excellent condition, and no telling the stories that has been associated with this particular firearm, or how it got passed down through the years and how it ended up in this gentleman's pawn shop. So that's the great thing about pawn shop finds, guys. I have found some amazing firearms in pawn shops. I love to stop in. I'm a big thrift guy, pawn shop guy. I love to go into pawn shops and thrift stores, but pawn shops especially for firearms. I found several firearms over the years that were absolute gems that I got great deals on in a pawn store. So 1929 Ithaca Lefevre Nitro Special, guys. 20 gauge, side by side, excellent condition. I am looking forward to taking this thing out and shooting it. Maybe getting me some bismuth loads to put through it. I'm going to kind of do a little bit more research and make sure I have the right ammunition for this particular firearm. But for $325, I have a 92-year-old firearm that has stories, I'm sure, passed down with it that I wish I could uncover, guys. But I am super excited to have this in my collection now. I'm looking forward to passing this on to my boys one day and telling them some stories about how, I acquired it, and hopefully made some successful hunting trips with it. We might even do a little bit of squirrel hunting with it. But I would love to take this old Ithaca out, do some test shots with it, and possibly use it on a waterfowl hunt this year, maybe 1 or 2 hunts, if not more than that, guys. So don't give up. If you guys are looking for firearms right now, don't forget your local pawn shops. Like I said, this one was acquired and picked up here in Louisiana at a local pawn shop, and I was able to make an amazing deal on it. And who would have thought, guys, a 92-year-old firearm still in that great a condition. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on it, and I'll probably follow up with you guys on anything else I find. But I definitely know that serial number run on this particular firearm, Ithaca produced it in 1929. So you're looking at 92 years old, guys. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited and like hearing this story of something that I found here locally here in Louisiana. That's a waterfowler's dream. That could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to come across a firearm like that. So I'm excited. I'm going to put it to good use, guys. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to this video with me. Thank you for tuning in to our Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors channel here on YouTube and on social media outlets like Facebook and Instagram. If you like this video, guys, share it. If you have some comments, or maybe you guys have a Ithaca Lefevre Nitro Special as well that you have in your collection, let me know in the comments below. If you aren't subscribing to the channel, we appreciate it if you like and subscribe to the channel. Smash that subscribe button. We'll share more videos like this with you guys because we enjoy talking outdoors. That's what Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors and our channel here is for, guys. But until next time, this is Jacob with Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors. See you guys in the outdoors. I'm signing off. Until next time, guys, we'll see you around. Y'all take care.